This week, we are coming at you with one of our favorite songs from the 80s. Yes, matter of fact, I don't know if anyone from the 80s doesn't like this song.
If they didn't like this song, then I don't know if they'd be my friend.
Yeah, they probably weren't there in the 80s.
That's probably true.
This is R.E.M's It's the End of the World.
As we know it.
And I Felt Fine.
That's right. All right. So Ken, for this song, I don't remember if I heard this song first or the one I love, but they're both from the same album, Document. But R.E.M. had already been like a huge college rock band, college radio band before this album. But this was their big breakout hit, largely thanks to MTV.
Oh, absolutely. MTV is what exposed them to the rest of the world, because back then, now keep in mind, when we were kids, sounded like we're that old, but we didn't have internet and communication and be able to tap in and see what's going on around the world on it instantaneously like we do now.
Right. And to be fair, right, like when we were listening to this song, we were probably in middle school.
Yep.
Right? That's about the right age, right? Middle school. We weren't listening to college radio. We weren't listening to alternative music. We were listening to whatever the radio or MTV fed us.
Yeah, or what our parents allowed our older siblings when they were driving, because you drive, you roll the radio.
Yeah. And you didn't change the channel because they weren't going to let you.
Yeah.
Because they were bigger than you and they beat you up.
Ah, yes, those were the days.
And now Ken is much bigger than his older brother, and he can beat him up. Sorry, George. All right. Anyway, so Ken, with this video, when I remember seeing it, I thought, I wish the camera would just stay still, right? Because it has that disoriented look, like somebody's just looking around this room.
Yeah, like it's not on a stand, like
right, shaking all over the place.
Yeah.
But then rewatching it as an adult, I'm thinking, oh man, that's such great art. Oh, they're artists.
Yeah. In that beat up shack.
Yeah. And what stands out about the video to you?
What stood out to me back then, when first time I saw the video, was, okay, it's R.E.M. video, R.E.M. song, like this song. Where's R.E.M.? That's interesting. They have this video and they're nowhere in it, nowhere to be found. Just a kid with a skateboard. Going through.
That's it.
Yeah, I loved that. I was like, all right.
And looking at it now, you're thinking like, I could easily see that when they were laying out this video, that the kid with the skateboard is kind of like the last person left on Earth, or at least this town, right? Rummaging through this house, finds a skateboard, and he's the only one around. How are you going to survive? How are you going to find your food? How are you going to find energy or,
resources?
Whatever.
Just everything that you don't think about. And, well, he was there. He was fine. World was over. End of the world. Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing
and you know why? Because he found a skateboard and he has this R.E.M. song playing in his head. So he's just going to dance to the song with his skateboard.
Yep.
And do a little skateboard trick in the middle of it, And so, like, watching it now as an adult, I love this video. And truth be told, it's only my second favorite R.E.M. song. My favorite song is Man on the Moon, and there's so many reasons. We'll get to that maybe a year from now when we do our second R.E.M. song.
Noted.
Yes, but this is absolutely one of my favorite songs of the 80s. However, I'm not a big R.E.M. fan. Like, I like songs. I do not like entire albums. I saw them in concert. It was fun. They played the song.
Oh, yeah.
At the very end, after I had to sit through the concert. But they played the song. And they played some hits. They didn't play all the hits. They're not a band that you're going to go watch and hear every R.E.M. song that was on the pop charts.
Yeah.
So and that's okay. Bands have a right to perform their art as they see fit. But
and that was
just not for me.
Yeah, they were able to stay true to their principles and stick to their guns, which was awesome.
Now having been this like college art rock band, right? What really struck me is that when you listen to the song first with that drum coming in, what's the drummer's name?
Oh, Bill Berry.
Bill Berry, when he's coming in with that drum, like boom, once you hear that drum, you know the song.
You know
once
what's happening.
That drum. That's right. But you hear these jangly guitars. It's almost like they heard the Byrds growing up as kids, and they're like, nope, that's who we're going to emulate in this.
Which is funny since this album and the videos, Peter Buck, Rickenbacker in the videos.
The 12-string?
Yeah, I don't know if he had a 12.
Because that's what the Byrds did, the 12-string.
That was the guitar from the 60s and the Beatles, that jangly sound. So
makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Again, I have to go back and watch and see if it's the 12, but Rickenbacker in my head whenever I think about this period of time with R.E.M.
Yeah. Now, is there anything musically that stands out? Like, because I already said, hey, man, we got that bird sound. Obviously, you recognize that drum when it first hits. We can talk about Michael Stipe as a singer because, and we're going to talk about this throughout the entire history of this podcast. You don't necessarily have to be the best singer, but if you can be instantly recognizable, your voice.
Yeah.
Axl Rose, Ozzy Osbourne, Madonna, right? Michael Jackson, Prince. When you hear that voice, you know that voice.
Yep.
Michael Stipe has
That's one of the, he has I can't think of anyone else who even sounds remotely like Michael Stipe.
I'm not saying they're the best singers. Like Freddie Mercury could be arguably the best singer of all time, plus he's super familiar, right? Like instantly recognizable.
Oh, absolutely.
Plus he's got the chops, right? Yeah. If you want to go female, you can say Whitney Houston, right?
Yeah.
Instantly recognizable. Could be up there as one of the best. Aretha Franklin. Stevie Wonder might not be called the best singer of all time, but you hear that voice, you know it's Stevie.
Yep.
Michael Stipe has that 110%. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like I said, R.E.M. as a whole, not for me. This song, 100% for me, can listen to it this day.
Yeah. I loved this song then. I love it now.
Yeah. It's almost... It's almost mind-blowing that this song is 35 years old.
I know, it doesn't seem that long.
Yeah, at least, well, maybe a little.
It's like 86, 87.
So yeah, 33 years old, 34 years old. And when you look at the lyrics, you think, okay, it's the end of the world. And they have this stream of consciousness lyric thing going on. And I got that from Wikipedia, by the way, because I'm not that smart.
Yeah, because we just called it a barrage of words.
That's it. And you heard this in the 60s with Bob Dylan's Subterranean Homesick Blues. In the 70s, there was a novelty hit called Life is a Rock, But the Radio Rolled Me, that kind of played tribute to the old rock and roll on the radio with this kind of style. And then in 89, I think it was 80, right? We were in high school when
91,
We Didn't Start the Fire,
yeah,
right?
Billy Joel.
Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire came out, did the same thing where they just start rattling off a list of things.
And the words just pummel you.
Check out some of the words in 2020. And we're going to put a disclaimer here now. We don't talk politics on this show. We celebrate music. However, there are songs that are political and of that time. And if I said these words, I'm going to say some words, some phrases that Michael Stipe rattles off in this song. Down your neck, Trump, slash and burn, lock 'em in uniform, right? It's time I had some time alone. Ken, we just been locked up in a quarantine for several months.
Yeah. It's almost as though he wrote this song last month.
Yesterday. He wrote it yesterday. He said, how can I describe 2020? He might be Nostradamus.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just saying, he might be Nostradamus. When I saw Slash and Burn, the first thing I thought of was, oh my God, Australia was burning to the ground. Yep. Oh no. I mean, Trump, we've had the protests and when I see lock 'em in uniform, I'm like, oh no, like that's what these protests are about, just insane, just how in tune it is. It almost goes to show that the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, let's get real. We're going to talk about protest songs, and protests have been happening since people have lived.
Yep.
It comes in different forms, different media, different approaches, violent, nonviolent, however you want to look at it. But protest always happens. So it's not a new concept unique to 2020. It's just that in 2020, it's unique for this time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Because this isn't the time where we think of protests. That's the 60s. That's what they did in the 60s.
Right.
How about that? 21st century, and here we are.
Yeah. And I was talking with a friend, and we were talking about when the World War I soldiers, the bonus army, was protesting not getting paid, back in the 30s and getting shut down by the government. I mean, or 20s, I don't know, whatever happened. Just so you know, I was a history teacher. I'm not very good at history. It happens. But for me, this guy sings so fast. I never knew the lyrics, man, except the chorus.
Yeah.
It's like blah, 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 blah.
Leonard Bernstein.
That's it, right? Blah, 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 blah. Leonard Bernstein. It's the end of the world. And then he starts singing. That was what I heard in this song my whole life. Thank God for the internet, because now I can actually follow along with the lyrics.
I heard that, and then I heard the music. It's a simple, typical, basic progression that this song has, like a 1-4-5, nothing crazy. So you have a stable rhythm, bass, beat, nothing crazy. And then you have Stipe on top of that.
Right.
With his barrage of words.
And my favorite part is that harmony during the chorus. It's time I had some time alone.
Mike Mills, my friend. That is, if you go back or as you listen to other R.E.M. songs and some of the things he's produced, I know he produced Concrete Blonde's Bloodletting.
Oh,
no,
okay.
He did not produce that album. He did 2 tracks on it. But his presence is identifiable. So like you hear like, oh, there it is. That's what Mike Mills does. That's what he does. Yeah.
So he's that high falsetto-ish, or what is that? What's that?
Yeah, he's the higher voice,
higher register,
and he adds that flavor, the harmony and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's him. I've had some time alone.
Right.
And that counter melody there.
Okay. Now I guess Stipe was the high, right? Wasn't Stipe doing the? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm getting off on a tangent. It doesn't matter. Whatever. The point is, this song, I don't even know how far this song got up on the charts. If somebody is listening, if you feel like commenting, look it up and tell us how far this song got up on the charts. It might have just been on the college charts. But this song is definitely of the time, right? Like, if you grew up in the mid '80s, you've heard this song.
Oh, absolutely.
From whatever. So typically when we do singles, we're going to do something that was a top 40 song. I'd be shocked. I know the one I love was a top 40 song.
Yeah.
That was R.E.M's big breakthrough hit.
Yep.
But this is the best song on the album.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So Ken, wrapping this up, is this your favorite R.E.M. song? 'Cause I already told you it's my number 2. But since we're not going to touch another R.E.M. song for at least a year.
Yeah, no. This one is and has always been my favorite R.E.M. song.
Oh, okay. Wow. So when you were there, you're like, "Ooh, I like the way they're doing it." Like you instantly fell in love with this song.
This song grabbed me from go. Yeah, pretty much from that drum intro.
Okay. And Ken just drummed on his microphone too. So.
And I also, being the geek that I am, I thought, because Leonard Bernstein was still alive when this song came out, and I was like, that's got to be a kick. You're just chilling, mind your own business. He probably has some students run in or some members in the orchestra at the time, and hey, you're in the middle of this song. He's like, what? And just listen, then they yell out his name. So, how about that?
So, and for the youngsters out there, can you tell them who Leonard Bernstein is?
Leonard Bernstein was a 20th century composer. West Side Story. That's his claim to fame.
Okay, so
that's what you would know, I would say.
Yeah, if you don't know what West Side Story is, there's nothing else we can do to help explain that. Yeah, but having said that, I highly recommend for anyone that's younger that isn't aware of the song, go watch the video. It's kind of a cool video to this day, right?
Yep. Like I still like it.
Yeah, Ken and I watched it before we started recording, and we're like, yep. And then we actually wanted to compare it to the Billy Joel "We Didn't Start the Fire" video. And that one just feels so 1980s. You know, it just felt like, I mean, he was trying to be serious and show like this different family through the different decades, you know, when he's talking about the Cold War and, you know, he's standing proud with his sunglasses on inside.
But I still love that song. Again, the barrage of words. But
this one, no band, no Michael Stipe dancing his weird little dance. Just some little kid with the skateboard, man, rocking out to his
skater in a shack, yeah. And you know what? I also want to say thank y'all for listening, tuning in this week. Come back next week because we're going to do the same thing with a different song.
And if you enjoyed the show, please leave your likes and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave your comments. We really want to hear from you. If you're an R.E.M. fan, what's your favorite R.E.M. song? If you're our age, that's mid-40s. If you're our age, please let us know if you remember watching the video as a kid. And until we talk to you again, we will see you later. Bye-bye.